Hey guys, so replacing the double universal joint and the upper joint assembly which attaches to the steering column by the firewall. Easiest way to do this is to work from the top. You'll want to jack up the front of the car into the center jack point, which will be fine. There's no need to work under the car for this job. And as I stated again, so the upper joint is in pretty decent shape. It just kind of has a little binding up at that center point where it kind of detents, but other than that, it moves pretty well. And of course, the double carded joint is very frozen. Can't do a thing with it, so that needed to be replaced. So you'll remove is just the air box, the MAF with the upper intake boot, and you can kind of push it up out of the way with the T-hose, and you can leave the lower intake boot on. Essentially, this will give you access to the double cardan joint. So if you see here, if you leave everything unlocked, you can actually turn the whole assembly. I have it locked right now because I don't have the key in, but there's the one bolt there, and you can put the key in the ignition and turn the wheel, or if you have somebody else to help you out, it's a lot easier to be able to access those E12 Torx bits, the compression bolts. So I found that working from here is not too bad. If you just use a little stubby wrench, you can get to it pretty easily. I bought this one at Harbor Freight, this 3/8 stubby with the E12 Torx bit. And I was able to access the lower double joint bolt down there, as well as this one. Now to reach the upper one, you have to reach all the way up underneath here towards the firewall, but you can do it. Essentially, you just reach all the way up, and you'll be able to feel the bolt there. It's going to really have to be in the probably about the 11 or 12 o'clock position to reach it, but this was the easiest way to do it from up above. Just reaching up underneath there, putting it on the bolt, and then loosening it by hand. It really doesn't take too much strength. So that's what I did, and I found that when I reattached all the pieces after putting them back together, you'll find that at least with the upper joint assembly, there's no ability to be able to mess this up. It's got that slot there, and it fits right onto the upper steering column, so there's no way to be able to mess that up. And then on the lower end, that eccentric piece there will fit right into the double cardan joint here, so there's no way to mess that up. So the easiest way is to telescope the wheel all the way back towards the seat and loosen the bolts. You'll be able to pull this right off. That lower bolt on the steering assembly has a slot as well. Now that slot aligns up with the upper teeth, which has a piece that fits in this slot, and it lines up with the plastic gasket on top as well. So you want to make sure you maintain that alignment with the either aluminum or steel nipple that fits in there, as well as the plastic nipple that lines up with that. And you'll be able to slide it on there. I didn't have a problem with any alignment, but what I did was when I put it on, I found that the plastic gasket was twisted a little bit, so I was off by one tooth. So I had to go back in here and realign it, because I noticed that my steering was straight, but my steering wheel was turned towards the left just a little bit, just slightly. So I'm going to test it again to make sure that it's lined up even better, and it looked better on there. So let's see if I can turn it. I'll have to turn it on, but we'll test it out and see how it goes. But not too bad to work from up above. And again, all you need is a stubby wrench with the E12 Torx bit, some flatheads, 10mm, to be able to remove the air box, and removing the upper intake boot with the MAF, sliding everything to the side gives you access up above and then below. It's really not that difficult at all. It took me about an hour and a half because I was taking my time to install it, but the steering is definitely more crisp, more tight. I just had to realign that one tab. Alright, signing off.